Hello everyone and welcome to the Middle Ages channel. Today, we're not just looking at history books, we're stepping right into them. Imagine yourself as a traveler in medieval Europe, say around the 12th century. What would your journey be like? What dangers would you face? What wonders would you see? Join me on this traveler's tale as we explore the medieval world through the eyes of someone on the road. First things first, why are you even traveling? You're probably not doing it for leisure like we do today. Your journey is likely driven by necessity. Perhaps you're a merchant, your pack mules laden with wool or spices heading to one of the great trade fairs in Champagne or Flanders. The potential for profit is huge, but so are the risks. Or maybe you're a pilgrim, driven by faith, on your way to a holy shrine like Santiago de Compostela in Spain, or even the ultimate destination, Jerusalem. You might be a student, traveling to the new universities in Bologna or Paris to study law or theology. Or you could be a craftsman, a journeyman, moving from town to find work and perfect your skills. Perhaps you're a messenger, carrying an urgent letter for a lord, or a minstrel with a lute on your back and a song on your lips, hoping to earn a meal and a bed for the night. Whatever your reason, leaving home is a serious decision. So, you've decided to go. How do you prepare? You won't be packing a suitcase. You'll carry a simple satchel with the bare essentials. A spare tunic, a water skin, some hard bread and cheese, and maybe a small knife for protection and utility. Money? You'd carry a mix of local coins, but their value could change from one region to the next, making every transaction a negotiation. Your shoes are crucial. They'd be made of leather, sturdy but prone to wearing out. Many travelers simply walked barefoot when the weather allowed. If you had some means, you might ride a horse or a mule, but for most, the primary mode of transport is their own 2 feet. Now, let's talk about the road itself. Forget smooth, paved highways. Medieval roads were often little more than muddy tracks. They were poorly maintained, turning into treacherous swamps after rain and dusty trails in the summer. Major routes, often ancient Roman roads still in use, were better, but they were few and far between. Crossing a river usually meant paying a toll for a ferry or a rickety wooden bridge. In the mountains, paths could be narrow and perilous, especially in winter. You wouldn't be traveling fast. A good day's journey on foot might be 20 miles, but that depends heavily on the terrain and the weather. Speed isn't the priority. Survival is. And survival means dealing with dangers. The biggest fear for any traveler is robbery. The woods and lonely stretches of road are rumored to be the haunt of bandits and outlaws. You'd be wise to travel in a group for safety. Joining a merchant caravan or a group of fellow pilgrims is your best bet. These groups often hired armed guards for protection. Besides human threats, there are natural ones. Wild animals like wolves and boars are a real concern in forested areas, especially at night. Getting lost is another major risk. Maps are rare and often inaccurate. You rely on local knowledge, landmarks like a peculiar old tree or a distant church spire, and the direction of the sun. Every stranger you meet is a potential source of information, but also a potential threat. Trust is a currency as valuable as silver. After a long day of walking, where do you rest your head? If you're lucky and have the coin, you might find a spot in an inn. Don't expect a private room and a comfy bed. You'd likely share a large common room, and maybe even a bed with complete strangers. The conditions could be rough: straw mattresses, fleas, and a lot of noise. But an inn offers a hot meal, some ale, and the safety of 4 walls. For pilgrims, a more welcoming option is a monastery. Many monastic orders, like the Benedictines, had a duty of hospitality. They offered simple, clean lodging and food to travelers, often in exchange for a small donation or just for the grace of God. For the poorest travelers, the only option might be to sleep under the stars, huddled by a fire, or seek shelter in a barn, if a kind farmer allows it. Every night is an exercise in finding security. But a traveler's life isn't all hardship and danger. There are moments of incredible wonder. Imagine seeing a great stone castle for the first time, its towers reaching for the sky. Or entering a city like Paris or Venice, bustling with more people than you've ever seen in your life. The sounds, the smells, the sheer energy of it all would be overwhelming. You'd see merchants from distant lands selling exotic goods, silk from the east, spices you've only heard of, vibrant dyes, and intricate metalwork. The air would be filled with a dozen different languages. And then there are the cathedrals. As you approach a major city, the first thing you'd see on the horizon is the rising spire of its new Gothic cathedral. Stepping inside would be like entering another world. The sheer height of the nave, the light streaming through the stained glass windows, painting the stone floor with colors of ruby and sapphire, is designed to make you feel small, to fill you with awe for the glory of God. For a medieval person, this is the closest thing to heaven on earth. Your journey would also be a social one. On the road, you'd meet people from all walks of life. You'd share stories with fellow pilgrims, trade news with merchants, listen to a minstrel's songs, and hear sermons from traveling friars. The road is a network of information. You'd learn about wars and plagues, the coronation of kings, and the price of grain in the next town. These interactions break the monotony and isolation of the journey, creating a temporary community of the road. You'd share food, watch each other's backs, and forge bonds that, while temporary, are vital. Let's say your journey is complete. You've reached your destination. The merchant has sold his goods at the fair. The pilgrim has prayed at the shrine. The student has enrolled at the university. The sense of accomplishment would be immense. You have not only traveled across the land, but have also navigated a world of dangers and wonders. You return home, if you do return, a different person. You have stories to tell, experiences that have broadened your horizons far beyond your small village or town. The life of a medieval traveler was a microcosm of medieval life itself, a constant struggle between faith and fear, hardship and hope. It was a world where the sacred and the profane lived side by side, where a pilgrimage could be both a profound spiritual quest and a dangerous adventure. It reminds us that for most of human history, the simple act of getting from one place to another was a monumental undertaking. So the next time you hop in a car or on a plane, take a moment to think of our medieval traveler, trudging along a muddy path, one weary step at a time, with the world unfolding before them, full of peril and promise. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today here on the Middle Ages. I hope this gave you a new perspective on what it was like to live and travel in this fascinating era. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into medieval history. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments what part of the Traveler's Tale you found most surprising. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Next